We're out here and it's morning and it's like really daylight and sunny and we have the day off. Yes, I don't have to deal with construction on 401 today. It did me in a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, she was pretty upset. or stressed, that's the word. Upset's not the right word. She was sharing. in a very
loud way.
Well, yeah, adamant, you know, very displeased. Anyway, but I get to read my paper this morning.
And have coffee, before I make you go walk.
Well, you're not going to make me go walk. We're going to go walk together and we're going to enjoy it.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day.
It is. I got goals. We haven't talked about where, but it'll be something besides just the environmental park or, you know, besides South Park. Hi, Stripey's here this morning. I didn't have to call him or anything. Morris and Marty were up there. Morris is really sleeping in the mornings. That's good. He hasn't been missing any. Here's Marty in the front and Morris in the back. Hey, bud. I'll get your water freshed out. That's because the raccoons and possums were in it last night. And here's Tux. Please, Tux, don't be so aggressive today with everybody. Just try to find a sunny spot and enjoy the day, okay? This tree right out the front windows is really pretty. We can see it when we're sitting watching TV. Down below, we got some color. I got, you know, lots of oranges. I see little bits of red, but no strong red out there in our woods. There's an oak with some red on it, and there are a couple sourwoods or dogwoods over in that direction. It's another pretty yellow tree. I'm waiting for this thing to turn, the red maple at the bottom of the steps. Panther's a little quiet this morning. He doesn't seem, I don't see any saliva on him or bites or anything, but he's moving slow, and usually when he does that, it's because he had a tussle with somebody. Alright, I convinced him to come up and get some of that chicken in there. They've got some Friskies, but they've also got the real chicken nom nom stuff. And as you can see, Gray certainly chooses to eat the real chicken first and then go for the canned food if she doesn't have a choice. I missed it. Well, I missed the up anyway. Are you having fun on your tree, you silly cat? Marty always tries to get in on the action, but, you know, being the older, slower cat, he just kind of mostly watches from the fringes. He gets frisky too, though. But here's where I don't want Stripe to lead all three of them away. Hi, guys. Morris will think something is up with me coming up here. You know, in a scary way. I'm not after you, Morris. Hi, guys.
Well, there it is. My girl has finished another one. This one is for Miss Michelle. You gonna make it, girl?
No, I think you're gonna have to come help me.
All right, I'll come help.
Nice try, though. Yeah, we fixed that problem by moving the greenhouse to the right.
Yeah.
And then putting this one up here.
Yeah, looks real nice, sweetie.
Thank you. I'm very pleased. I thought these two were complementary in size, very similar in size, and I'm not disappointed, and they were. So I'm very, very pleased. Anything cool. Off kilter to you?
Oh,
we'll
look
study
good.
it one more time.
Yeah.
I'm leaving behind some sleepy kitties. Don and I are gonna go for our late morning walk at Sharon Harris. No, I don't think you can make it. I'm betting against you.
I didn't even get out of the neighborhood yesterday and had already gotten a hard braking event.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He missed the garbage truck.
Well, yeah, that's right. I chose to slow down quickly to give him, the garbage truck, plenty of room to come over onto my side of the road and go around that curve. And so because I stopped quickly, they dinged me.
Yeah, I joked with him that he had already messed up his score for the day, and sure enough, when we went and looked yesterday, the first trip of the day, hard braking event, and we only went a mile to the environmental park, and then I drove home, and that was, of course, a perfect 100.
That's right.
On Facebook last night in the Model X forum, there was somebody that showed a car where they put the like blue painter's tape on the driver window. Do not, well, they used a curse word, drive. 98% safety score, 99% safety score. And there's been people going back and forth, you know, the men saying they can't let their wives drive, and the women saying, of course, they can't let their husbands drive. And there's a lot of households having, well, I think in our case, some fun with it, but in some other households, it might not be so fun. Of course, Don hasn't tried to go against my wishes and drive Ruby, but I also don't have to put signs on the car to tell him not to drive it. Right. Well, he's been doing okay backing her out of the garage. That hasn't been causing any problems with the safety score. Unfortunately, God, that's like the 5th truck we've passed, and they keep on coming over the line, going around the corners because they're going too fast, and not really worried if you run off or not. At any point, I was going to say, well, Don and I are a little disappointed that yesterday was the beautiful sunshine, and today we have this partly cloudy mess. We'd enjoy the leaves. We'd really like to see the sun today doing their stained glass thing on the leaves, but it's still pretty. And this road leading over to Sharon Harris County Park is really pretty. Yeah, I mean, I guess over here we're really lucky. Oh, look at the bike lane, Donnie.
Yep.
A lot of people do ride their bikes out here. Not this road that we're on now, but the road that goes over by the reactor and stuff. It's not highly traveled, and this seems to be a part of the county where the guys that like to train for bike races and stuff, they like the roads over here. Car enthusiasts like the windingness of the roads over here too. But yeah, as we move toward the plant. Yeah, Jules has stopped at the stop sign. She was on autopilot, and you know, she can't see back there. This is a really tricky intersection.
This would be one of those, when we get FSD, we'll come to this one, because that stop sign is 50, 75 feet from the intersection. It's so far back.
Yep.
You have to pull up.
But the color sure is pretty. I feel like we're definitely at peak leaves right now, which is, like I said the other day, just a smidge late. But we're looking as good as we're gonna get, I think. Here today, the next couple days, the past couple days. Wide load.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah.
He definitely wanted the traffic stopped. It's not normal for a log truck to come out of the
gravel bed.
Yeah. Quarry. Well, they're obviously working today. I mean, with all these trucks, these are all guys, the microfibers are all working today, so there must be construction projects going on.
Yeah, well, they got to make use of this good weather before it gets into winter, even though, you know, construction happens here all year. We're having better than expected weather for right now, so.
Yeah.
Well, I do love North Carolina. I love the lush green of the summers, at least when we don't have a drought. I love the long growing season. I love the trees and the beautiful color in the fall and all of the flowers in the spring. The only thing I don't like is the mosquitoes. And I'm willing to put up with them for all of the rest of it. So Don remembered that to a good distance walk for us over to the cooling tower area is to go park at the disc golf parking lot and walk in this way. So that's where we're going. Did that go far enough?
Yeah, really.
That was like a double run.
It was.
Well, we were running on the trail where it was really easy running. Got our heart rate up, so all this other walking is still clocking those exercise minutes. Had to run again right away because I was down to 115, and that run was one of the longest ones we've done. Don just lets me set the pace. I pushed myself pretty good. And I only got up to 135 that time. Well, now one says 147, so I need to, you know, can't be getting back to Jules and not have my exercise minutes in. So if our friend John from the UK is watching, I'm thinking you would wholeheartedly approve of running on this particular trail. Just got to watch for those oak tree roots. There are a few tree roots, although they're all worn from people walking the path. They could trip you up if you're not paying attention, especially this time of year with the leaves covering them. Well, every time we stand over here across from the cooling tower, I am thankful and curious as to how 911 didn't ruin this for people. It's farther than it looks, though, is part of it. It's that it's such a huge, I'll call it a building, that, you know, it really is farther than it looks. And I can see, you may not be able to see, but right across at the right of the screen is one of the disc golf chutes. I don't know what you call it.
Oh.
Yeah, poles. So that really does wind around over there. This is gorgeous. Be nice if the sun came out while I was standing here. Although we have a view of the cooling tower for a good part of the walk along the shoreline. So last time we were here, this disc golf pole was underwater, and they have moved it up there farther, which is probably a good thing because I think it was underwater a lot. Oh wow, that's really nice, framing the cooling tower through the tree there. Well, it is nice and still today. There's no wind. The reflection of the cooling tower in the water was nice.
I got a little bit of a reflection in front.
Yeah, this is a part of the Peninsula Trail that's drier than wet. Right. Although right now, it being muddy isn't too much of a concern. Right. And the sun's hitting the far bank.
Oh, look at this.
Very pretty. Very pretty. So this is the 3.5 mile marker. Not that we've walked 3.5 miles. We haven't walked anywhere near that today. I think the entire Peninsula Trail though is 5 miles or 5.5 miles. But there's a way to cut off some of that. So I do think we'll get in about a 3 mile walk Although we always, you know, the most interesting thing on the trail we've already seen. We'll be around to some spots in a few minutes that let you get closer to the water again. This is pretty rooty here. I've tripped up a couple of times trying to watch where I'm going so I don't end up on the ground. One of our friends has a broken wrist right now. I didn't hear how she did it. I think, I know she is a biker, bicycles, her and her husband, to get their exercise that way, and that would be my guess. But, you know, normally it's the things we don't expect, like, you know, just walking out of the house that get us in trouble, like me on our walkway we used to have. Don and I both appreciate the clean, reliable, and inexpensive electricity that comes out of this plant.
Yeah, carbon free.
I really wish they would put in a second reactor. I think the site plan was originally for 3. It was at least for 2.
Right. Yeah.
And it got held up after Fukushima. And
second reactor, yeah.
Yeah, so thankfully though, this one is still going strong. Hopefully next year we'll get back to the Sharon Harris Community Day and, you know, to give you guys a tour again with us of the cooling, or the trainer operator control training center. But you can go back and look at a prior video we did of it.
Yeah, and I would say that hopefully, I've noticed more and more press about the nuclear, you know, politicians haven't did it, but at least there are people talking about it. Over in the UK, the Macron, the Prime Minister of France, just last week announced that they are going back to nuclear, and they're going to be building nuclear power plants again in France. And there's talk, it wasn't Germany, it was one of the other states there. Anyway, the point is, it's starting again, because if you're serious about CO2 is this existential planet ending thing, then you have to decide, well, if I really believe CO2 is the problem, and we have to do everything, there's nothing that's, because it's basically all life on Earth is going to end if we don't fix the CO2 problem, then you have to say, well, certainly nuclear should be part of that, because you're basically willing to do anything, so why not put nuclear back on the table instead of being against it? So we'll see. I'm for the first time in a few years since Fukushima, I'm very optimistic that possibly at least some people will start talking about it. I mean, a lot of people, you can't even say the N word. They just get, you know, they go apoplectic, but maybe calmer heads will, you know, more rational thinking, pragmatic will kick in instead of all this hype and scare tactics and stuff.
Right, well, I certainly feel very safe with this plant. We're within the 10-mile zone of it, and it doesn't bother us a bit. As a matter of fact, it's a great visual for where are you around town, because you can usually see the steam cloud, which I kind of rely on a little bit and think is sort of cool. Yeah.
Well, Sharon Harris has been a good neighbor. I mean, this park is part of the Duke. Set this aside as part of the original CP&L way back in the 70s is when it was all planned. This was all planned this way, and who knows? Like I said, maybe they'll get that second reactor. They'll follow through on the license. I don't know. I hope they do. Yeah.
If it wasn't clear, Don and I are very pro-nuclear, and it would behoove you to go and do a few minutes of research if you haven't one of the other times we've talked about it, because you know, what the media says about nuclear and what nuclear really is not exactly the same thing. And there's plenty of books out there if you prefer it that way. There's plenty of YouTubes out there. There's a couple of documentaries, and they give you a much better really what's going on and what it means and what it is and isn't. And there's new technologies. It's not all this weapons grade
There's no weapon that never has been with
Yep.
this. Not in the U.S. I don't disagree that over in Russia they built power plants for dual purposes to create the fuel and the energy to boot. But in the U.S., all these pressurized water reactors, they're all for they can't.
What's the new reactor type that has that's so promising that you talk about
molten salt reactors,
molten
thorium
salt
reactors. Basically, it's not using pressurized water. The problem with the power plants is depending on water for cooling. There's a lot of inherent safety in using molten salts and things like that that are highly pressurized. They're basically at atmospheric pressure, and so I think that certainly we ought to be researching and putting a serious thought into it instead of just holding our nose and say go away, you smelly thing. And I think somebody put it up pretty well. Basically, they've criminalized any discussion of nuclear. I mean, you just must be a criminal if you're pro-nuclear.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is I would bet that the infrastructure bill that was just passed doesn't have any provisions for anything to do with nuclear. And oh, by the way, in 10 years when all of these other countries in the world have sorted out their stuff, it'll be like these other car companies trying to catch up on EVs. That'll be how the U.S. is going to be catching up on nuclear.
Well, China is building plenty of nuclear. They're building plenty of coal, but they're also building plenty of nuclear. So, the fact that we don't get it doesn't slow down China.
Yep. So this pretty red here is a dogwood tree. Some more in front of us. Some more off to the side. It's the state flower, dogwood. Right along with the state bird of cardinals, which you'll often see in dogwood trees. Has this really rippled bark. Dimpled. Very dimply. They have so much trouble growing and staying. They pop up where they want. We've had a couple in the yard, but they're temperamental. Pretty when they like it where they are, though. Well, we've had more sun than we thought we were going to get today, although it's gone in right while we're near these pretty trees. We'd like it to come back out. So there's the 3-mile marker, which implies if we keep going this way, there's 3 more miles of trail. That does not mean that we can't get out at some point and not walk the whole 3 miles, although that wouldn't be the end of the world. We'll just be out here all afternoon. Especially at the rate we're moving today, which is not fast. Let's see, we're at 1 hour and 9 minutes and 30 seconds because I've taken 100 photographs. Last time we went back, we turned around from here, but I'm not, I don't know how far we've walked, but 1.3 miles, I guess. That would still be another full mile. Anyway, I'd rather explore where we haven't gone before so we know versus turn around. There's an example of the tree roots. This part of the trail is particularly full of them. So we're having to constantly, our brain is quite active reworking our balance on this particular trail. That's you're near the power plant sign. Here, I'll show you. Although these are old because they still say CP&L. Or, yeah, Carolina Power and Light, CP&L. We didn't see the cut through we thought we were going to see back to the road, and Don has that "you're making me walk farther than is necessary" look on his face now. But this will be the one time in 10 years we go the long way, and all the other times we'll walk the short way. And Kitten will be so wore out and so understanding of just exactly how far this is that she won't make you do it again anytime soon.
Right. That's fine, Sweet Pea. We'll make it.
Wow. It's like being in a golden rainforest. Wow, I don't think I've stood at this point before. It's possible. You can see that they're letting you know not to go closer over there in the water. That's as far as you're allowed to go. Wow. Don says sometime around, 2010-ish, he ran this peninsula trail, like all 5 miles of it, and it was wet, and he was inexperienced in knowing what was out here, and that not going when it was wet would be a good idea. And he said he vowed to never do that again.
That's right. Never do that again.
So Don found a service road. Unfortunately, Pokemon Go doesn't show this. It only shows the main trail. And we sort of turned around, and we're hoping this will cut some time off, because we're already at an hour and 45 minutes and over 2 miles.
2.5 miles.
And we've seen all the pretty part. It's not right. I've got hundreds of pictures. I'll be up all night working on the video anyway. Don't need another zillion pictures.
It's getting close to Donnie nap time.
Right. Well, we're not trying to get a gazillion more pictures or video, but that tree is looking so nice. How can you go past it and not document it?
Yeah.
Even Don said, aren't you going to take a picture of that? This is where you bring up the Tesla app, because I do have LTE here. And you decide, we just came from my left. Don's waiting in the shade. But there's 3 different ways we could go, and 2 of them are clear it's not the right way. But let's see where Jules is. And I actually only have 3G, and it thinks Jules is in the garage at home, because we haven't been in the app since we parked. Oh well. So which way, Donnie?
One more second.
Okay. So I still can't get to Jules, but Don is got the Google app, Fit app up, and it's sort of showing. You could take take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, we can do that.
And we see the high power lines to our left, and you know there aren't 5 tons of them around here, close together at least. They are coming in from all directions, but this is probably the ones we saw going over to the cooling tower area and walked over a little bit ago. I suspect we're going to go underneath them here in a minute.
I agree.
So we're making pretty good time now. Don's smile has returned.
Yeah. Well, it's because we're on the way back now. Before we were keep going further and further and further away. I was ready to be home.
Yeah, well, we're good. We're good with, you know, an hour on work days and an hour and a half to 2 hours on weekend-ish holidays. And we were going to be over the 3-hour mark if we kept going the way we were going. And that was far for both of us, to be clear. All right, here's the right-of-way for the power line. You can see the cooling tower, the steam cloud in that direction. So we're definitely headed in the right direction.
So this one, the next one, the towers.
2 down is where we crossed the first time?
Well, between the second one and the third one is where the trail
was where we were earlier, yeah.
So what we, because definitely that third one may or may not be in the water.
Right.
It's hard to say, but that's basically where the trail cuts down over there.
Right. Don said, Kitten, turn here. There's a little water feature on my map.
This, look at these things growing in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of water plant that is either. You could guess that in the spring it probably has a flower.
Yeah, I'm just going to go see if this trail where they cut it just ends at that blue pole.
Okay. Yeah, we're just on the other side of the right-of-way from where we started. And they keep it mowed.
Yeah, well, there's a pole down here that probably got to come inspect.
Yep.
We're going to start
Wherever this comes out.
right, and then we're going to walk back the other way.
Yep. Don doesn't think we should follow that. He says we should stay on this. Well, this is like a main, cars can travel down it. And you can see where Jules is or where we started our walk.
Yeah, Jules is here at right at the top of the screen where it says 3G. That's where Jules is.
And we're almost to the
here.
road.
And this road right here is about as direct a path as you're going to get. In other words, I don't think that's going to be any straighter. It might hit you over here, but I'm just thinking this is for sure going to work.
Okay. All right, where's my Starlink sat phone?
Yeah.
So I can see where Jules is. I'm not worried in the slightest. I totally feel like we're headed in the right direction. I would like to take a picture of it.
Now there's your parking sign.
Parking that direction.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go look and see if it's got a sign on the other side.
Okay. It doesn't say parking in this direction, but one could presume.
The road is. We were on the white road.
But there's the road. You can see it from here. But the thing is we're not walking beside the cars and out in the sun.
Right. This is true. We're not in traffic.
And I do see the road right there, and I don't want to be out there with the cars. I assured Don this was the right way. I'm confident in my decision.
All I want
Is your couch.
I want my rest of my deviled eggs.
Yep.
I want my rest of my chicken wings, if there's any left. I want my
Couch.
clean. I want my YouTube.
All right, well, I'll make you some more ranch dressing for those wings, assuming Johnny didn't already eat them all.
Yeah, I'm sure if he spotted them, they're gone.
But if he ate them all, I'll fix you nachos. I'll fix you not have stuff for nachos. I got onions already minced up and everything, cheese chopped. We're good to go. So this is where Peninsula Trail hits the History Trail, and there's something up here in front of us that I don't.
Hold on a second, there's a QR code.
There is?
Yeah,
Really?
you girls just blow right by stuff.
Sorry, well, you figure that out for us. Well, I don't know what 306 was, but 305 says it's the wash house and there's a spring. And the spring must be here. Taylor Kendall Group, Randall, Troop 320, Eagle Scout Project 2015. Huh.
Yeah, well, this is the old homestead, it says now.
Well, there's the foundation for one of the homes that was used to be farming land out here. In the spring, there's a lot of daffodils. You want to walk it in the spring if you want to see daffodils. Lots of heritage daffodils. What did you say, Donnie?
I think you were right. This is the shortest way from where we were, where I said, well, I don't know. There was no need to go walk the roadway.
So this is the road we walked in on now.
Yeah,
we're back to the road. Yeah, we ran when we were here. We won't run now. No. I see disc golf stuff. Matter of fact, I could even just see Jules up there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
The end of the trail is within your sights, Donnie. Show me that happy face. No, don't leave me. All right, so we have a loop for next time that doesn't have us walking too far. Except for when we come in, we're going to go the other way. We're going to try to do it the opposite direction. And if not, that's okay too. But yeah, because we want to walk around 3 miles, but not 5. And we mostly want to stay near the water, or, you know. So I think we got it sorted out in our head now. So does this mean we have to come sooner than later so we can cement it in our brain?
Oh, God.
I said that on purpose just to get a reaction out of him.
When we do you said you wanted to see the daffodils
in the spring.
February,
Okay.
on a warm February day when
Okay.
the daffodils are
Okay. You might have recovered from this by then.
out. Might have been, yeah,
Well, it was either here or Raven Rock today, and that's a definite 3-mile loop with those stairs. So, you know, just keeping you young, Donnie. I'm keeping you young.
Yeah, well. 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 21 seconds. 4.22 miles. Oh, hang on, it's coming. It's just as slow. 1,143 calories, 145 movements. Boy, we blistered the pace. 34 minutes and 25 seconds per mile.
But I did get 35 exercise minutes, even though it was relatively flat. The running the 2 times at the beginning, getting my heart up, helped with that. And there was not much elevation here, but a little. A little. Fireworks are going off. I've got over 10,000 steps. I don't have to move a muscle. Oh, that's right. The kitties need me.
Yeah, you gotta feed me.
Okay.
I get to go home and pile up.
Okay. You're worth it. I love you.
I love you too.
Well, this road should look familiar. This bridge here. This is where the drone footage at the beginning of every day's video was shot.
Yeah.
Paul is basically standing over here, and Don and I were going up and down the road and up and down the road, and then we moved to the other location, but the bridge footage was shot right here.
Yeah.
His vehicle was parked off the side of the road here, and we had a little powwow there before we went over the bridge to kind of coordinate what we were going to do. Yeah, it's Taekwondo time again. I'm headed over to PetSmart tonight. The kind of food that Slate enjoys, is willing to eat. We've got 3 or 4 cans left, so I'm gonna go try to buy a case of it. Hopefully it's not in short supply. I don't think it is. Now they have advent calendars for cats. It's very cute. My goodness, they got lots of cute kitties in the window today. And places to come take pictures. Let's see. They had a really cute Christmas tree made out of stuffed animals. I resisted. Let's see. I got the pet food, the cat food that I wanted for Slate. This brand of wellness minced chicken stuff. We tried 5 different things, and that's the one she decided she wanted. So that's what she gets. And they had a beautiful Christmas tree made out of stuffed animals. I resisted, even though there was a cute owl. And that was about it. I browsed the store, but I just got the cat food and then left. So I've got a little bit for Johnny till he gets out, but not really enough time to do anything else. So I'll just head back over to the parking lot. Oh my God, it's raining. How can it be raining? Johnny's got 15 to 20 minutes before he comes out. Maybe it'll just be a little sprinkle. It's not pouring or anything, and it'll stop. Please stop, please. No, Ruby's clean. Don't make Ruby dirty.